Välkomna till detta seminarium för Operation 1325. Vi kommer att ha det på engelska, so I will again say welcome to you. The Operation 1325 is a civil society organization, an umbrella organization which is joining a number of women's organizations working for peace and security. It is created to implement the agenda of the Security Council, the UN Security Council on Women, Peace and Security. And it is this year 20 years since it was adopted in 2000. The two main focuses of the agenda on women, peace and security is, first of all, the role of women in preventing, resolution and peacemaking efforts. And on the other hand, also protection of women from violence, mainly sexual violence, in the conflict situation. Today we are joined here by two of our organizations with whom we cooperate, and it is two organizations, one from Yemen, All Girls Foundation, and one from Turkey, which is Women, Equality, Justice and Women's Platform. Welcome to Maydan Madje and Gülseren Onanç.
Hello.
First of all,
nice to be with you.
Welcome. I will give Maydan the floor first. You're working for women's rights and for social protection since quite a number of years. Can you tell us about the situation in Yemen right now? Wait. You have to, Maydan, there is a problem with your sound. You have to unmute your microphone. It's an icon on...
Oh, thanks.
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me well now?
Now we hear you very well.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm saying at the outset, I would like to thank all members of Operation 1325 who have worked hard to advance the status of women and bring an end to conflicts around the world despite their limited resources. Regarding your question about the situation in Yemen, I can say briefly that since the outbreak of the war in 2015, the economic, social, and political aspects of life have been severely affected. However, ordinary people are those who have been particularly hard hit. The death toll from the battles exceeded 100,000 between the warring parties and more than 18,000 of civilians. And we've got many IDPs scattered all over the country.
Oh.
Yes.
I see. The aim of the Operation 1325, which we are representing, is to make sure that women are included in peace processes. What are the possibilities for women to participate in the peace talks in Yemen today?
Let's start by saying, indeed, Yemeni women face many restrictions resulting from unfair social practices and traditions. Nevertheless, women and civil society together were able to reap remarkable results and rights during the National Dialogue Conference for building peace in Yemen in 2014. However, since the start of the war, the participation of women and civil society has been very low, even in international events such as the Sweden Dialogue in 2020. Yes.
Okay. And what are the challenges that face women's rights organizations?
I mean, the main challenges are to overcome, as I told you, the unfair, wrong social practices and traditions, and to have a very strong coordination with the authorities in order to be able to implement women activities.
Okay. Can you tell us a little
Yes.
about your organization's efforts to get to work to have women's participation in the peace dialogue?
Okay, let's start like this, that the All Girls Foundation for Development, which I'm working for, was originally created to support women, girls, and youth. This happened in 2003. The All Girls Foundation for Development also had the opportunity to play an effective role in supporting women's rights during the national dialogue in 2014. However, during wartime, like local and international NGOs have done, the All Girls Foundation has to focus more on humanitarian interventions to support the displaced, the host communities with basic life services such as water, sanitation, health, education, shelter, and women's economic empowerment. That's in brief.
It's a very large agenda indeed. Now that you are on a Swedish seminar, although distant, would you like to say how can the international community and Sweden possibly help support your needs?
Actually, we appreciate your effort a lot. And I have to say in the beginning that the women organizations and civil society are part of the solution. They are not part of the problem. Therefore, we urge the international community to establish more coordination and effective relationships with the authorities in Yemen to allow women, organizations and civil society to contribute meaningfully to building peace and developing the country.
Thank you very much, Maidan. It is a long path to continue, but we stand by you and hope to be able to support you also in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I will now go to Gülseren Onanç. Welcome to this place as well. She is an women's activist, a politician and an entrepreneur. You are a leading part of the Equality, Justice and Women's Platform created in 2017. Would you like to first make a short, brief presentation of your organization, its main advances and challenges?
Sure. Thank you for having me on this panel. It's an honor. We have been fighting for women's rights and human rights in Turkey for a long period of time. And recently we decided to have just Equality, Justice and Women digital platform in order to promote women news, women accomplishments and solidarity among women, not only in Turkey, but in global wise, in order to promote how women could accomplish and how we can really reach justice and equality through cooperation and through dialogue.
This is an important step towards the agenda of women, peace and security. And everybody is aware of the many challenges that you face today. Which is your main priority right now?
While we are fighting in Turkey in many aspects, especially we would like to keep the rights that we already gained, which is our equalities in every sense of the society. But recently we have faced a threat coming from the government, which they decided or they were thinking to withdraw from Istanbul Agreement, which is an agreement which guarantees protection of women from the violence. So women rights movement for long periods of time, they fight for protecting Istanbul Convention. This was one of our gains recently, but we have also working on peace between our two countries, between Turkey and Greece. As you may also know, there is a conflict going on between two countries. In fact, there is a conflict in this Eastern Mediterranean region for the extraction of the fossil fuel. So countries are really in conflict to get the right of reaching this fossil fuel energy. And recently, for the last 1 or 2 months, there is a conflict rising between these two countries. And we, as a woman from Turkey and Greece, said we need to stop this conflict jointly, and we need to call for peace. And we have put a joint initiative. We call Women from Turkey and Greece for Peace Initiative. Just on the 15th of September, together with our colleagues from Greece, we put a web page, which we put our call in 3 different languages, Turkish, Greek, and English. And we asked for some of our friends to be as signatories at the initial stage. And we have reached, in a very short period of time, 350 signatures. But as soon as we open our call to the public, since 15th of September, we have reached thousands. That shows how women do support peace in our region. And since then, we have realized that there is smoothing discourse between these two countries, and dialogue has already started between Ankara and Athens. And we believe our call was also an influential cause for this smoothing process, because women from all over the world and from our region do not want conflict, especially in this COVID crisis period, because we are very victimized. But
your inspiration,
maybe we should do more.
Yeah, your inspiration has come from the Women, Peace and Security Agenda, which is the Security Council Resolution 1325 and following. I can hear it clearly with solidarity, and the fact that we have changes in the international concept of justice, where women should be participant, gives you a certain advantage. I can hear from you.
Well, you know, we are going through such an authoritarian, patriarchal political system. It's from US, Russia, China, like Yemen, Turkey. You know, all patriarchal, authoritarian politicians are really suppressing women, minorities, refugees, human rights activists. So we could only fight against this authoritarian patriarchal regime with solidarity, and women's solidarity in global women's solidarity is the answer. And I see a huge hope in this area. We, as a woman, we could establish such a international discourse for peace, security, and prosperity for the future.
Mm-hmm. May I only touch very briefly on the problem of the huge number of refugees which you have in Turkey, coming mainly from Syria. I know you're also working on women refugees' right. Can you see any progress there?
Well, you know, in general, women rights are deteriorating. So unfortunately, refugee women are also affected, from these processes. But what the hope is, we need to really lead international foreign policy agenda as well, because as long as this conflict going on between Turkey, Syria, Greek, and everywhere, this refugee problem we will be facing for a long period of time. So in order to reduce the tension, reduce the conflict, we have to, as a woman, lead foreign policy as well, not being on the side and just calling for peace. We, as a woman, would like to be part of the foreign policy, and we would like to have our saying in foreign policy. That's why I want to really encourage Swedish authorities to continue promoting feminist foreign policy, which they have already done and initiated by Margaret Wallström in the past. I find it very critical, and Swedish authorities should follow this agenda, feminist foreign policy agenda.
So you encourage the continuation of the feminist foreign policy agenda as a solidarity act, perhaps, as well as an internal policy for us.
As a remedy for whole peace, for whole world. The problem of the Kurdish people, also there women have had to stand back for pressure or for the policies of national policies and the international situation in the region. Is there anything you would like to add to that point? Yeah, Kurdish issue is also a major issue in Turkey, and we have seen solidarity between, again, Kurdish and Turkish women. They are collaborating for solving this issue. So again, my solution would be that as long as we have women saying in politics, which mainly reduce the tension between Kurdish and Turkish and provide democracy to the whole government and to the whole society, I think this conflict could easily be solved.
Today we are meeting digitally, and I know one of your efforts platform is to give women access to the digital information and exchange of information. Just a few words to finish.
Sure. In fact, I shall also thank to Operation 1325 for supporting us putting a project called Voice of Women. We have been pursuing to increase women voice in social media through our ambassadors. We have picked 20 very influential women in Turkey, and we provide them contacts to promote. So we want to increase voice of women through social media to prosper their voice for peace, equality, and justice.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this insight into such a complicated situation as you are living in Turkey. And thank you, Maidan, for your information regarding Yemen, which is also a very complicated situation. In closing, I would just like to remind you again that this year is 20 years since the Security Council agenda on women, peace and security was tabled through this Resolution 1325. And as an organization, we are celebrating this jubilee with a conference between 13 and 16 of October, to which we all greet everybody. You will find information on our webpage, operation1325.se. Welcome to join us there.